Okay, sorry I had to get all this set up with me still using my phone. Like I said, I wanted to finish this up. I hated where I left off. Um, One of the easiest ways you can check for collisions for movement is if the place is free, needs an X and a Y coordinate. Let's look at the function. Okay, we see place free, we need an X and a Y. For this one, we are moving down, so we're getting higher in the Y values. So we're saying X, Y, and our coal speed. Set up a vision coal speed. You want to make a little higher than your actual movement speed. I set it to 8 since we're moving 6. Usually 2 is high enough. You can play with that number. But this will make sure that area is free and will move. We'll see here in a little bit exactly what it does. And this is the syntax for an if statement. We showed it earlier. If, parentheses, then we got a function here, place free. It has its own set of parentheses, and then we have to close the if statement with another set of parentheses. Anytime you call a function, which is what place free is, there's going to be another set of parentheses, and it's requiring arguments or values put in there, X and a Y. We're providing that. Same thing with key down. We're getting higher. This is our down key. Our Y is increasing. Notice here we got an error message. I wanted you to see this. I left this intentionally. Look at here, something's wrong. Can you tell what it is? Let's see what Gamemaker's telling us. Got, believe, end or F or N. When you see this, you see we're missing a curly brace. Just add one. Now it will go away. That lets the Gamemaker know that is the end of our if statement. So if the place is free, X, Y, coal speed, Y equals Y plus 6. And another important thing for this to be able to work, you need to check solid. Only solid items can be put in collisions. So now, let's see what happens. Now we should have movement and a collision. See, now our guy can't get past him. And this helps you from getting stuck. Sometimes you can move up here and get stuck and not be able to move in a direction. That function there will help you. See, we're stuck there. We can't go down, but we can still move left and right. If not, if you take that function away we wrote on there, if place free, you could get stuck here. You could possibly not be able to move down or up, but this will not. That function will keep us just a little bit off of them. But like I said, now for an enemy, this is not applicable because we want to have a collision with them. So this really doesn't work very well for the enemy. For now, if it would have been for that tree, yes. Bush, a little plant or something like that, no. But a tree, yeah, most definitely. But our enemy, we should be able to have a collision with them. So that's what I say. This here can be good, but depending what type of game you have, this can really cause you problems because now we're not going to be able to have a collision with our enemy. This is going to keep us away from objects. So this can be a good thing, but just keep in mind, if you need to have collisions, this default thing will not work for you. This is dependent upon games. So let's see here. Let's go back to our object player. Now let's uncheck solid and uncheck solid there. Let's see what happens now. Remember, they need to be solid for a collision. Now our guy can just move right through there. There's no longer a collision. Like I said, now this collision system is very useful in certain situations. But depending how our play style is going to work, you may want a collision or something to happen. I mean, you can actually do more advanced collision checks to make a battle engage. All depends how much. I typically don't use this in my games because I like to have collisions with enemies. Just feels real to me. When they collide, something happens. But there are ways to work around it. Just know, if you use this to stop yourself from collisions, it can sometimes have an effect, depending what you want to have happen. Let's see something. Let's text it out. When our player, we're going to have an event, collision with object enemy. We're going to say, if they collide, the player should be destroyed. Now, with the way we set up with our collisions, this may or may not work out. I have a feeling this may not do what we intended to do. See, now that can't ever be triggered. By just that alone, we will never be able to collide into the enemy. So like I said, that is a quick, easy fix for certain situations, but it's usually not applicable for all games. To this, you would have to do some extra collision checks to make sure this kind of stuff happens. And one more thing about collisions, edit sprite. We didn't talk about this. Here is the origin of your sprite. You can move it wherever. We're just gonna have it in the middle, but just know this affects draw events. This is saying the center of your object. This is your center X and Y. You can also change the size of a sprite. But this is the collision mask. Right now it's set for automatic, but you can change it to full image, manual, and you can drag it and adjust your own boxes. We could see if this would be a fix for us here. Like I said, I don't normally use this method of method for collisions, because like I said, I like collisions to happen. Usually solids work enough for me. See, now we still cannot collide with them.